In this video, we are going to analyze Shakespeare's Sonnet 18, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day? Shakespeare, a theatre poet and a poetic dramatist, was pragmatic and practical minded, whose use of theatrical and literary knowledge are deeply rooted in reality. He was one of the greatest men of genius who idealizes power in art. As a child of Renaissance, he wrote in the rich literary environment of Renaissance. Hence, his plays and his poems may be considered to be the fusion of diverse influences which have been transmuted by him to the supreme effect. He was born at Stratford-on-Avon on April 23, 1564, in a hard-working middle-class family. The third of 8 children, he was the eldest son of John Shakespeare, a prominent glove maker, and Mary Arden, daughter of a well-established landowner. In 1582, at the age of 18, he married Anne Hathaway, aged 26, a farmer's daughter. The couple's daughter, Susan, was born in 1583 and the twins Hamnet and Judith followed in 1585. By 1592, he attained success as an actor and playwright. He dedicated most of his poems to Earl of Southampton. The playhouse with which tradition connects Shakespeare was called the Theatre. It was rebuilt as the Globe Theatre, where Shakespeare was taken in as a partner. The theatre served Shakespeare's financial needs. His sonnets, appeared in 1609, are praised for the devotion of a character identified as the poet himself to a young man whose beauty and virtue he praises, and to a faithless dark lady with whom the poet develops infatuation. He wrote all his plays from 1590 to 1611. He died on April 23, 1616, and was buried in Stratford's Holy Trinity Church. Now let's see the summary of the poem. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. In these lines, Shakespeare says that England, being a cold country, the warm summer season is most welcome there. Shakespeare would like to compare his friend to a warm summer day, but the friend is lovelier and gentler than summer. He has none of the defects that mar summer. Summer is characterized by rough winds that shake down the buds, causing much waste in the month of May. Another unwelcome aspect of summer is that it is very short compared to other seasons. The poet is neither destructive like the rough winds of May, nor is his bounty short-lived like summer. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. In these lines, Shakespeare says that sometimes in summer the sun becomes unbearably hot. Sometimes it is hidden by clouds. The temporary disappearance of the sun reminds the poet of the fact that beauty is impaired either by some accidental happening or by the law of nature that makes for physical decay. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou erst, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. In these lines, Shakespeare says that But the poet's beauty will never fade. Even death cannot boast that it has taken possession of you. You have been mentioned in my poem, and your reputation will only grow as a result. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. In these two lines, Shakespeare says that as long as there is human life and men read poems, you will not die, you will live in my poems. Now let us see the critical analysis of this poem. Shakespeare's sonnet hinges on his male friend who is unnamed but might be his handsome patron, the Earl of Southampton. In this poem, Shakespeare compares his friend to summer. Summer is welcome in England because it is cold there on most days. So Shakespeare compares his friend to a summer day. At the same time, he avows that his friend is superior to summer in several respects. Friend is lovelier than summer. Summer has wild fluctuations, but the friend is always poised. The rough winds of summer shake down buds, but Shakespeare's pattern is never destructive. He protects the budding poet Shakespeare. He is essentially a constructive force. Summer is short lived, but the friend's patronage will never dwindle. Then the poet describes the impermanence of beauty in this poem. He conveys the impermanence of physical beauty through the image of sunshine. The sun shines bright only for a short while, then it is hidden by dark clouds. The human body is also attractive for a short period only, and then it gets spoiled accidentally or it decays automatically in course of time. Finally, the poet immortalizes his friend in this poem. He claims that his poetry is immortal. The friend will always remain young and handsome in his poems. Thanks for listening.